Marvel's smallest movie of the year, Ant-Man and the Wasp, is shrinking its way onto home media thanks to Walt Disney Pictures and Marvel Studios. As we've come to expect from all major Disney and Marvel releases, there will be a gigantic selection of versions releasing worldwide. In this video, I will go over all the details of all the different versions you can expect to find across the US and Canada, the UK and Australia, and when you can fly away with them from stores and on digital platforms. Additionally, in this video, I will detail the list of announced special features and will then deliver my final thoughts on the releases and discuss which version or versions I'll be adding into my own personal collection. In doing so, I also hope to help you weigh up which version is best for yourself. I did of course review Ant-Man and the Wasp when it was first released in cinemas. If you'd like to take a look at my more in-depth thoughts on the movie itself or any of my video editorials on it, feel free to head over now via the link at the top corner of the screen or the hyperlinks at the end of the video. On your screen right now is the list of topics that I'll be covering in this video. If you're more interested in checking out some over others, then please feel free to skip forward via the time codes I provided down below in the comments. Otherwise, you are of course more than welcome to stick it with me for the long run. Also keep in mind that about 90% of the time, things do change between announcement and release, whether that be new editions announced closer to release date like regional exclusives or changes to artwork, special features and specs. As always, I will keep you updated in future videos if there are any major changes. I should also mention from the top that all Disney movies on Blu-ray are region free, so if you plan to import any edition worldwide, you will be guaranteed to be able to play it no matter where you are. First up, let's take a look at the North American and Canadian release of the movie, where Ant-Man and the Wasp will be released on physical home media on October 16th, 2018, but will be hitting digital platforms 2 weeks earlier on October 2nd, 2018, as is now the norm for Disney releases. Ant-Man and the Wasp will be released as a multi-screen edition Blu-ray plus digital code set, and as an Ultimate Collector's Edition 4K Ultra High Definition set, including a 4K disc, a Blu-ray disc, and digital code. A bare-bones single-disc DVD-only edition will also be available to purchase. Again, these three editions will be sharing the same cover art, which is lucky for those who like to double or triple dip on different cover versions. You can save yourself on a little bit of money. Also, it's really fantastic to see that Disney have finally dropped the multi-screen edition and Watch Anywhere banners on this 4K disc. Although they do remain on the standard Blu-ray, we are slowly getting there. A steelbook edition will be released exclusively through Best Buy, featuring this really fantastic dynamic artwork. This will be released as a 4K Ultra High Definition set, including the 4K and Blu-ray discs and digital HD. Unfortunately for some, no DVD. Again, I really love the artwork here. We haven't got a look at the back cover just yet, but I'm hoping it'll feature Ant-Man in a similar design as Wasp on the front. Also, I really love the interior art, which uses one of my favorite pieces of concept art from the film. Yeah, I really like this steelbook. The last couple of Marvel steelbooks have been a little bit disappointing for me and I haven't bought them, but this might be a possibility. Additionally, Target will also be releasing an exclusive Digi Pack edition of the movie, which will also come as a 4K Ultra High Definition set, including the 4K and Blu-ray discs and digital HD. Again, unfortunately no DVD. The pack will also come with a 40-page filmmaker gallery and storybook, which should be loaded with behind-the-scenes photos from the film and filmmakers' anecdotes. While I do think that this has a really nice cover art, I find it kind of odd that Marvel have used practically the same artwork as the standard releases and just added a few elements here and there. Kind of disappointing when these sets usually make an effort to use completely different artwork, especially when there were so many fantastic posters for this movie. I would have loved to have seen the first theatrical poster or the Dolby Cinema poster utilized. As is now the norm for Disney in the US, there will be no 3D option for Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's also sad to see no 4K edition of the first Ant-Man getting a release, as I kind of expected after the release of the first two Avengers to coincide with Infinity War. Our friends over in the UK received Ant-Man and the Wasp in cinemas an entire month later than the rest of the world due to a little event known as the World Cup. Sadly, this being the case, the UK release date has yet to be announced for the movie's home media release. I will of course keep you all updated on this in further videos, but for now I do have some details I can share. In the UK, Ant-Man and the Wasp will be released as a Blu-ray set, a 3D plus Blu-ray set, and a 4K plus Blu-ray set. A DVD edition will also be made available. Final artwork hasn't been made available for the UK editions as of yet, but they will likely be the same as the Australian artworks, which I'll show in just a bit. Again, I will keep you updated on all of this news as it comes in. Zavvi will of course be the exclusive UK retailer of the Steelbook edition, which will be released in both 3D plus Blu-ray and 4K plus Blu-ray combo packs. Again, no final artwork has been revealed for the UK Steel just yet, though I do imagine that just like pretty much every other Marvel Steel, the UK edition will be exactly the same as that from the States. It is pretty doubtful right now if Tesco or any other retailer will release a big sleeve edition of the movie, considering that this year's biggest release, Avengers Infinity War, went without one. I kind of get the feeling that big sleeves are now dead. Additionally, Disney have announced the release of an Ant-Man 2 movie collection featuring both Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp exclusively for the UK, which will be available in both Blu-ray and DVD editions. Still no 4K box sets for the UK though. A little bit of bad news for Australia. Despite the movie releasing earlier than the US in cinemas, us Aussies will receive the physical home media release an entire month later on November 14th, 2018. As always, however, don't forget that you will likely be able to pick the movie up 2 days earlier on the 12th of November in store at JB Hi-Fi, which I guess is some kind of very small consolation. A digital release will likely drop 1 to 2 weeks beforehand, as with the US. Likewise, Australia will receive a Blu-ray set, a 3D plus Blu-ray set, a 4K plus Blu-ray set, as well as a standard DVD. It's also worth mentioning that I believe there will also be a single disc 3D released as well, which will only feature the 3D disc and not the Blu-ray disc, and this means that you will also not get any special features with this release. This will likely market on the same day at the exact same price point, so just make sure you're very careful about which version you pick up so you are not unwillingly stuck with the inferior product. Again, I really love the variety of covers being released in Australia, though I do wish a third alternate could be used for these movies so the Blu-ray, 4K and 3D sets all had different artwork. It's also interesting to see that the 4K and 3D sets feature the same artwork that is featured on the Target exclusive over in the US. JB Hi-Fi will of course be the exclusive Australian retailer of the Steelbook edition, which will be available in a 4K plus Blu-ray combo pack. Really loving that Disney is finally making an effort to bulk up their Steelbooks, which have always been incredibly overpriced yet lacking in content. Again, no artwork has been revealed, but it will likely follow the US as with the UK. Now let's get into some general release specs for the Ant-Man and the Wasp release. The 4K edition of Ant-Man and the Wasp will feature HDR coloring and a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, while the standard Blu-ray edition will feature a Dolby True HD 7.1 surround soundtrack. A number of foreign language and subtitled tracks will additionally be available, but these may vary depending on your region. As with all Marvel movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp is loaded with a number of special features on the single Blu-ray disc. These features will be included on every single release of the movie except for the DVD and that single disc 3D edition. The special features for Ant-Man and the Wasp are a director's intro by Peyton, the talented creator behind some of Marvel Studios' funniest and most charming films, will invite home audiences deeper into the world of Ant-Man and the Wasp. We get a selection of making of featurettes. Back in the ant suit, Scott Lang. Hero and all-star dad Scott Lang keeps the laughs coming for the audience, cast and crew. A suit of her own, the Wasp. Highly trained Hope Van Dyne is now the Wasp. See how some of her craziest stunts and action-packed scenes were brought to life. Subatomic superheroes, Hank and Janet. Hank Pym's wife Janet was lost in the quantum realm. Trace the legacy of these characters and the iconic actors who portray them. Quantum Perspective, the VFX and production design of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Explore the movie's visual effects and production design from a whole new viewpoint in which every micro and macro detail counts. We get a selection of gag reels and outtakes. A standard gag reel, joining the fun with these outtakes from set. Stan Lee Outtakes. Stan Lee tries out a series of hilarious one-liners for the scene in which his car shrinks. Tim Heidecker Outtakes. Check out whaleboat captain Daniel Goobler and his improvised whale-watching riffs. There's also a selection of 2 deleted scenes with commentary by director Peyton, one of which looks to give us a bigger, better look at the surreal landscape of the quantum realm. I'm very excited about that. And as seems to be the going trend with Marvel releases now, Ant-Man and the Wasp's digital release will be padded out with a couple of digital exclusives. These will be available with all physical sets bundled with the digital code. 10 years of Marvel Studios, the art of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. See what it takes to bring the MCU to life and the role concept artists play in bringing superheroes from comic book to screen. And Online Close-Up Magic University. This commercial will inspire you to expand your mind and maximize your full potential. Overall, the special feature offerings for Ant-Man and the Wasp is pretty great. In fact, this collection of features is probably one of the more substantial offerings we've been given on a Marvel set for a little while. I do, however, still miss those feature-length docos photos we got on the first two Iron Man releases. The inclusion of digital-only features again is incredibly frustrating to me and those of us either importing from the US or buying local editions that don't come with digital codes. As someone who cannot access these features, I would love to check out the Marvel 10-year doco, especially just as I would have loved to check out the 10 years Directors Roundtable that was attached to the Infinity War release digitally. It frustrates me even more when I realise that these two features, and perhaps more down the line, were probably meant to feature on that Marvel Studios 10 years disc that was originally announced with the Infinity War Blu-ray set but taken off at the last minute. If I find out that Marvel have chopped up a great doco that was supposed to be released physically and relegated it all to digital in small bits to save a few bucks, I'm going to be really disappointed. Anyway, this is great for those who can access the digital content. It sounds like some really great stuff. Also, I'm a little bit disappointed at the lack of audio commentary by director Peyton, which is instead replaced by a director's introduction. In fact, I'm kind of disappointed that there's no audio commentary by anyone at all on this. The Marvel audio commentaries are really fantastic and really insightful. Overall, though, I am fairly happy with all the offerings on this set. I'm especially looking forward to seeing the Stan Lee outtakes and all the behind the scenes looks at this movie. Like I said, I really enjoyed this film and I can't wait to just gobble up as much as I can. Okay, let's get on to my picks and final thoughts. Again, I absolutely loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was the perfect antidote to Infinity War, which left us all in a 6-month-long depression. I don't think I'll be grabbing any fancy editions of this one this time around. I haven't bought a steelbook for a while, though this one does look really nice, and the lack of originality on the Digi Pack art makes me just kind of want to skip it altogether, though I may change my mind when I see final pack shots. For me, I will simply be grabbing a copy of the 4K plus Blu-ray set from the States, and I'll pick up a copy of the movie on 3D while I'm over here in the UK to ensure that I get both editions in slipcovers. Again, I may reconsider the steelbook or the Digi Pack at a later date. And at that is all from me for this video. I hope that I've helped make your purchasing decisions all the easier, and you have a good idea of which version or versions of Ant-Man and the Wasp you'll be snatching up. Let me know your own personal decisions in the comments below, and keep me posted on any other exclusive or limited edition versions that I've either missed or that pop up soon before release. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos, you like what you've seen, you'd like to see more like this in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now, and also hit that like button down below if you're feeling extra generous. Also, don't forget to check out my many social media accounts, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.